Hi, welcome to Soul Healing Queen. On this channel, I talk about all things spirituality, from shadow work to self-improvement to healing. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 things you may notice and or experience as you go through your healing or awakening. Now, what is healing? Healing is making peace, releasing trauma, and changing the narrative and the story of what you experience and surrounding it with a ball of white light versus a ball of red light, which is generally categorized as anger. So it's taking yourself through the stages of making peace and healing with yourself and healing others, to make peace with your past, to make peace with your current, so that way you can look forward to your future. So that's what's healing. It's healing those different parts of you that are created when you experience trauma, when you go through different life stages. Healing is creating a better version of yourself, and healing is also raising your level of consciousness. Now, awakening is when you are realizing the reality that you thought was the truth is really an illusion. And it's an illusion that someone else projected onto you and say this is what reality is, and really and truly it is not what reality is. It is their version of what they want reality to be for you. And you begin to see beyond the veil. You begin to see the matrix for really what it is, and you begin to see through with your third eye. It's having the vision with your third eye, and you start seeing things outside of that box. Remember, I don't know if you ever heard the slogan of think outside of the box, where you start seeing outside of that box too. That box that entraps us here, or entraps your mind and thoughts in this 3D experience, and you begin to see beyond that. So as you're going through the healing or awakening periods in stages in your life, you may experience any or all of these 5 things, and I'm going to share with them what I have witnessed, I have experienced myself, and my clients have experienced. And you may experience some of these yourself, but these are pretty common, and you can prepare and look forward to as you go through your healing and awakening. So the first thing is your heightened senses. You may have, let's say for example, your sense of smell. Your sense of smell may increase as you are going through the awakening, going through your healing. Your sense of vision may become a little bit more sharper. Maybe your sense of hearing is becoming more acute. So you might hear something, a pin drop upstairs on the 2nd floor, or you may see something off so far at a distance that you think that you can see that far. So a couple of things I just want to share something personally is that my vision, when I remember going to get my vision check as I was going through my healing journey and also awakening journey, because mine kind of intertwined together. And I remember the doctor telling me that I have excellent vision for, he was like, oh, you're not wearing any glasses. I'm over 40 years old. You're not wearing any glasses, and your vision is great. It was, I forgot what it was. It was, I forgot what it was. It was better than 20/20. It might have been 25/20 or something like that. I just remember the doctor saying that my vision was very, very good. And I can, especially at a distance, I can really see in the smallest of detail. And another thing that happened with me is my sense of smell. My sense of smell increased drastically, where I remember going on a trip and going and walking into a hotel room, and I can smell that this might be sounding strange, but I can smell the scent of someone else in that room, but there was no one else in the room, but I smelled the people that stayed there before, and I could tell that it was a man. And I was almost as if I guessed who it is, his age, and because I picked up that scent. Now you might be saying, well, that person's probably smelly, or they have a strong body odor, and which could also be true, but that's just one example. I just started smelling things that other people were not smelling as I was. So that was a couple of things that happened to me. So your senses, one or all of them, might become heightened. So just be aware of that. The second is, as you go through your awakening or healing, your relationships may end. You might have some relationships, whether it be personal, your best friend of 30 years, your husband of 10 years, your boyfriend or girlfriend of 5 years, your significant other, your partner, whoever it is. Relationships may come to an end. And that is what that means, is that person's no longer relevant for your life in the next stage that you are about to enter. And it doesn't have to be any bad blood or ill will towards you and that other person. It just means that this cycle of that relationship has ended. Now, where we get ourselves into trouble, where relationships, the cycle to that relationship is coming to an end and it needs to end for the betterment of you and that other person, is that when you try, either one of you try to cling on and hold on and pull that relationship back into your space. That is where we get into all of the hurt, all of the anger, all of the things that we put ourselves through, the stress of when a relationship is nearing its end or it's completed its cycle. And we have to understand and learn how to let go of things. Even if we can be with somebody for 20 years and our relationship can come to an end. And a lot of times it has nothing to do with either one of you. It's just a cycle at that stage in your life. Especially if you're going through the healing or awakening period, you might realize that relationship no longer serves you in your next phase of life. So just remember that your relationships may end and you have to be willing to let them go. The third is the different taste. Now, this could be up there with your senses. You might start noticing when you taste food, you might no longer have a taste for the same food, such as if you're a person that ate a lot of junk food or fast food, and then the next, let's say if you have fasted from eating fast food, or you change your eating habits, and then one day you just happen to stop at a fast food restaurant and you eat the burger, and you're going to taste all the chemicals in that burger now. Because as you go through your awakening or healing period, you begin to taste food. And if food is not food, and if it's got so much chemicals in it, you're going to taste it. So your taste is going to be changed when you go through your healing and or awakening period. The things that you may have eaten before, you're not going to be eating. And you might introduce and find some new foods that you may like. All right, so the third thing in your healing, that was the third. The fourth thing is you're going to begin to see people for who they truly are. Now, what does that mean? That means that you're going to see people's true intention. You can see beyond the veil. You might be able to see that sometimes that person doesn't have a human soul. They might be something, another soul is occupying their body, or they have different intentions. You might say, I thought this person wanted a relationship with me, but really they wanted something from you and it wasn't a relationship. They probably just need help. Or that person needs to have a place to stay or security. But it's nothing that involves being in a relationship with you. It's something that is self-serving to themselves and not anything to build something or create something with you. And that sometimes it can hurt when you see beyond the veil and see people's true intentions and see things that you thought were authentic and come to find out that it's not authentic. It's an illusion that they're projecting to you to get you to think that this is their reality, but really it isn't. And so sometimes those things could find out and be hurtful to you, because you're going to see those things and you're going to experience those things. You're going to feel those things intuitively when something is a little off and things begin to change. And the one thing that you're going to have to do when you have those experiences is bring those up to the surface, but don't react off of it emotionally. You're going to have to respond to it but not react. Meaning that if you start to see someone's true intention, let's say if you're in a relationship with someone and you start to see their true intentions of them being with you, and it may not be with your wanting or what you thought that you had, then it's something that you can bring to the surface, but also be prepared to part ways peacefully. That's it, peacefully. Part ways peacefully. Part ways peacefully with that person. So that way you can make sure that you are still on your healing journey. Don't revert back into a downward spiral. All right, and the next thing that on the list of 5 things that may happen to you during your healing and awakening, and the last thing here is isolation. You're going to enjoy being alone. You're not going to be lonely. It is not the same as being lonely. It's you enjoying the stillness of your own company, the peace and quiet of your own company, and the joy from your own company more than any point you've had in your entire life. You're going to realize that you make you happy. And so if somebody's going to come into your space, you're going to be very particular about who's going to be entering your space now, because you found solace and joy in being alone, which is totally different from being lonely. You're going to enjoy the peace that you have with yourself. And this is where more self-love and more self-joy and more discovery about yourself is going to come and be revealed to you. It's going to come into play. It's going to reveal itself to you. You might find a new career path. You might have a new business idea. You might go on and do different things, do new journey, new hobbies. You're going to rediscover your soul, authentic self during this time. That's it. And let me know if you have experienced any or all of those and what you've experienced when you have been on your healing journey or your awakening. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.